What is going on, everybody? You are listening to the Playing On Podcast. My name is Carl Markowski, and thank you for joining me. This podcast is brought to you by Charm City Paintball, the best headgear in the game, hands down. I wear his pack bands, headbands. I have an awesome headband on my pack, which is an American flag that took a long time to make, and I am super appreciative of Mike over there who makes these things. I wear them proudly, and I really think everyone should go check them out if you're looking for some awesome paintball. I don't know, you can call it like swag or I forget what it is you call it, flair. I don't know, but make sure you check him out. Charm City Paintball. He's on Facebook as well as Instagram. Shout out to Mike. Make sure you guys go get some custom headgear made. We are also brought to you by CK Fight Life, where you can find all kinds of paintball gear from jerseys, pants, packs, but they also have jiu-jitsu gear, gis, rash guards. I'm getting super into jiu-jitsu, hence this podcast itself, this episode. But CK Fight Life, they have some amazing gear over there, top-notch stuff. I just got a brand new gi from them that I'm wearing, and it's amazing. Quality is amazing. I love all the patchwork and everything that they have on it. But if you guys have any questions about it, they also do laser engraving on all the paintball markers. Give them a call, 951-219-5045. Ask for Tony. Tell them that Carl from the Playing On Podcast sent you. Or if you're more new school, you can go ahead and shoot an email over at ckfightlife.com. But thank you guys for supporting this podcast. And thank you for the product. I love it, and I love wearing it. And lastly, we are brought to you by Planet Eclipse, the makers of the LV 1.5, which I am proudly shooting. I'm proud of everything lately, but I don't take anything for granted. So I'm very fortunate to be able to say that, and I'm fortunate to shoot Planet's marker, the LV 1.5, and it shoots amazing. I mean, there's nothing really else to say. I know they have the new CS2 out. I have shot a little bit, but I'm more of the Poppet fan. But I know a lot of people have said that they really enjoy the new feel of the CS2. But you guys can check all this out at planeteclipse.com, along with all the soft goods that they have, jerseys, pads, pants, t-shirts, all that good stuff. Check them out, Planet Eclipse. You know who they are. Big name in the company, or big company name, and a great company. The people behind it are amazing. So thank you to Planet Eclipse. And that is it for the sponsors. But my guest for this podcast is Gutemburg Pereira, and he is a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt fighting out of the GFT team, the grappling fight team out of Toledo, Ohio. And this kid, he's a kid. He's 24 or 25 years old, but he has been coming up the ranks and has really made a name for himself in the jiu-jitsu world. And he is, I'm fortunate enough to be one of his students right now over at the GFT Toledo gym. And he is at the top of his game. I mean, he's getting better, obviously, but he's something else, man. You know, the way he teaches and the way he does everything, it's so fluid. I mean, he's a hardcore Brazilian dude, but he's a killer, and he's brought over more Brazilian athletes over here that are training and teaching, and they're animals, man. And big shout out to Dante too, who's doing some teaching over here. But these guys have been amazing. They have been helping me, change my life and changing my perspective on what I can and can't do. A lot more can, for sure, because they've been opening the doors on a lot of things. And I believe that's what jiu-jitsu is it's kind of tapping into yourself and really finding out, your true self and who you really are. And these guys are doing nothing but helping out 100%. But Gutenberg is a killer, and if you log on anywhere, you will see his name and his face all over the place. I was very proud. See, fucking proud. I was very fortunate to sit down and talk with him at the gym after a session, and it was really cool to hear his story. I think it was very very intriguing and enlightening to hear where he came from and where he's going. So enough of my babbling. Here is the podcast with Gutemburg Pereira. Hope you guys enjoy it. From the very first day I started doing this, it's weird because I love to compete, and this is a competition every single time that you hit the mat. And it's not even, I wouldn't even say a competition with the guy across from you. It's so internal, you know, and so in your head. And jiu-jitsu for me lately has been just a new adventure that I've taken on. I know I'm in the infancy of this adventure that I have. But I see you, and I see the medals on the wall, and I see Dante, and I know that that's all kind of a facade, because I can tell you right now, just by talking to you the little bit that I have, and kind of got to know you a little bit. I still don't know you very well, but it's not about the medals. It's not about. It's really about just competing at the highest level and being a top athlete and considering yourself and trusting yourself and being that top athlete. I mean, is that what it's like for you?
It is like I have been training jiu-jitsu for like 8 years, like 8 years now, and then now in April 16th it'll be like is my birthday of jiu-jitsu. Yeah, my jiu-jitsu journey.
So you have a jiu-jitsu birthday.
Yeah, I have a jiu-jitsu birthday.
Nice.
April 16th. So it's like I train for so much, I spend so much time on the mat now. That's just like when you go to the tournament, medals is important for your career. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like especially for the guys that leave jiu-jitsu, like make a living doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But man, I think the biggest thing for us like competitors, it's go there and like do our best. Like man, go there and fight hard.
It's like you're proving something to yourself.
Exactly. Sometimes like, you know, it's like any sport. Like sometimes you win, sometimes you lost. But man, even if you lost sometimes, but you have a scrap, you have a good fight. You know, even if you lost, you feel good. Mm-hmm. So the question is like, it's not always about the medal.
Right.
For me, like my person is always to go there and fight good. Like prove like I can't go home and just be like, man, today I fought good. Even if I didn't take the gold medal, but I fought good. I fought the way that I like to fight. So it's pretty much that.
And can you say that you even, because I know a lot of top athletes, they're never, and I don't want to speak for them, but they're never fully satisfied with their performance. I mean, I know with jiu-jitsu, it's so definite. It's so certain. I mean, you either have more points than the guy at the end of the match, or you submitted him, right? Yeah. So it's so certain. But I feel like there's always times during a roll or during a match where you can look back and go, especially now with everything being recorded on phones or cameras, you can look back and go, yeah, I may have won that match, but I mean, he probably, if he would have did something different here, he probably could have caught me like that. He luckily didn't catch my mistake. Yeah. And you probably analyze all of those whenever you can.
It's like, it's hard. If I have like a perfect tournament that I don't remember that tournament.
Yeah.
I actually remember was last year, the Worlds at Brown Belt.
Mm-hmm.
I won like with all submissions, and I didn't get score one even advantage. Fight. So that was the perfect tournament. Like you got all submissions and you don't get score even 2 points, like even advantage.
Yeah.
But that was just once in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's gonna happen again.
Oh, and that's how difficult it is.
But yeah,
with the type of fighters that are out there.
Especially now at like black belt level, man, you always like, you're never gonna come home and feel satisfied. Like
mm-hmm.
He's always gonna be a tough guy that's gonna have a tough match against you. Then even if you win, when you go home, you're gonna like think about like, man, that guy could beat me.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with me the last tournament, like at Pans.
Mm-hmm.
I have the first round with a tough guy, and then I won the last like 20 seconds of the match. So when you come home, it would just be like, yeah, I bit the guy, but I have to train way more if I want to beat him for real. Like I bit him, but was kind of like, a little bit.
It was close.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah.
So I think like most of the high level athletes, they feel that way. Like, man, if I beat that guy this time, like short, like close one time, I want to beat him like pretty much like with a good amount of points or submission the next time. So we always charge ourselves.
Yeah.
A lot over and over.
Yeah, and I think with paintball too, you know, the highest level, it's more about making less mistakes rather than having more advantage over the guy.
Yeah, it's same jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, because everybody's doing the same thing.
Yes.
Everybody's training the same way. I mean, there might be a new move here or there, or it might not even be a new move, but more of like a different perspective on a move. You know what I mean? And it's like I just had this might not even be a thing, but I found out because the more I'm rolling, I'm a rather creative person, you know, and I like to look at things different ways, and it's just doing a simple like a bow and arrow choke.
Yeah.
So I looked at it and I was like, okay, so some guys, they'll grab the gi like this and they'll just pull it around, and then but sometimes you can break that.
You can break that, yes.
So, and I was trying to think of a name. I already know if it works yet. I tried it and it did work, but I've only done it once, and I was calling it a hitchhiker's bow and arrow choke. And what it is, I hope I'm not like offending you by trying to come up with all that.
Yeah.
But it's like, so when you grab somebody and you, instead of grabbing them like this or like this, is you grab the gi here and you put your thumb up behind the gi. So now you have your thumb that's up against their neck, and you're pulling this way, and it's harder for them to break that because you're pulling here. At the same time, that bone instead of cloth is now like, coming in, and you can feel it too because it's actually gripping more. To me, like I was looking at it, I was like, man, that actually kind of works a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try it a couple more times to see if it actually works. But what's fun about that is there's so many takes on it, and I think what's cool about the highest level is it's not making those small mistakes that you see a lot of the brown belts, the blue belts, the white belts do. And I think that's the big gap that's in between everybody. Because I mean, I've come here, and I'm not trying to brag or anything like that, but I've noticed I tend to catch on rather quickly to things. But the biggest thing, and that it only takes time and being on the mat, is making less mistakes, because I can go out there and I can roll and not have an issue or get submitted, and then one day I can just boom 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 just get submitted and make all these mistakes. And I think it's a lot of rolling and training, but you know, the higher end guys, they know what to do in certain situations. It's a lot like paintball too. So if you've been in this situation umpteen times, you know what direction to go, or you can pretty much guess which way the guy wants to go just by the position of his body, and you can make the right judgment accordingly. I mean, is that pretty much the same thing for you? Like you're if you were in his position, you'd be like, well, if he is in that position, or if I was in that position, I would do this, but you just do it before he even thinks about it, and you're already wrapping him up.
Yeah. It is like jiu-jitsu is pretty much this too. Like, man, it's the same thing. Love the paintball, as you said. Like, when you go to the high level, like, I was like, I did an interview last days that I said the same thing. Like, the guy asked me, like, man, what is the difference between when he was a brown belt and the black belt? So the answer was really short, but I think is the best way to explain that. It's just like, man, when you go to the high level, it's less mistake. The guys always try to do the minimum mistakes possible. Yeah. So this was the difference between the amateur and the professionals. They make less mistakes, and that's like, it's hard, like, to, especially like me. I have a short time that I got promoted as a black belt. So I'm kind of getting used to that, to try don't make mistake. Yeah, I
mean, 8 years is a short time to be able to achieve what you've achieved already. Yeah, so is. I mean, you've had, you know, at least according, I mean, I've been playing paintball for 12, 13 years. I've been at the highest level since 2004, but not very many people have done that. But I mean, I can't imagine the journey, and I hope eventually we're going to get into that of where it started for you. But I mean, doesn't seem very long of a jiu-jitsu journey. Some guys
like Dante. Dante has what, 12 years that he trains, man. Like, he trains since a kid. I started as a teenager. Like, I started 16, like almost 17.
So that seems late almost.
Yeah. It's like this. The thing about when you start at 16 is like, not for the most guys, just for some of the guys like me. once I started, I already felt in love, and I was like, man, I want to live with this. Like, I want to have this lifestyle. So I take serious since the beginning. So I think that was the difference between like myself and the most of the guys.
You got obsessed early.
Yeah, early. Like, I went to the gym, like, because like, so my process is like when I start to like I have an anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So I start to like doctor told me to start jiu-jitsu.
Really?
Yeah. To I have a problem, a family problem, and I have a little anxiety with some things, and then the psychologist told me like, man, you have to build your confidence.
Oh, so it was a psychologist who said this. Oh, okay.
You have to build your confidence. Like, told my mom, he has to build his confidence, like, because his confidence is a little low. So it's better putting him, like, I always play sport. I played basketball for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Were you a small kid?
No, I was big. Yeah, I was big. And then, like, my mom, so she like, yeah, you have to get in a sport of contact, like jiu-jitsu, judo, something like this, like, to give him discipline, like, self-confidence. So my mom like, all right. So I think that's a God thing, man. Like, I was when people ask me about this, I always say, man, this is a God gift.
Yeah.
My mom changed jobs, and then the house that my mom went to leave was in front of the Jiu-Jitsu Academy.
Really?
Yeah, and then like boom, we changed the things, like putting the things inside the house, like boom, turn around, see the gym. I was like, oh shit. Man, mom, like that.
Now, did you know what it was at this time?
No, I didn't know. Like,
something completely new.
Like, I just saw the house. My mom went like, oh, we're gonna live right here, blah blah. All right, good. Let's put the things inside. Boom. So when I turn around, like, oh man, I have a jiu-jitsu
just
academy.
glowing.
Yeah, like
a big sign. Yeah.
Boom, mom. Okay, let's go Monday. So I went there Monday. Boom, my mom.
So she was all about it.
Yeah, because like she listened to the.
So she's trying to find something to fill that void. Yeah.
So boom, I went to the gym. And then, man, since the first week, I just was like, oh, man, I want to spend most of my time there. So my life was at school. Once I get back to school, I boom, went to the gym. I stayed the whole day in the gym.
Yeah.
I did my homework in the gym, all of it, like. So I just, like, fell in love, and then I was training a lot.
So did you have, like, a wrestling background or any kind of,
like,
martial arts background at all?
Like, I trained Muay Thai when I was a kid. It's like it's a Thailand boxing, right?
I think
like
so,
with kicks and like kickboxing.
Yeah,
pretty much like similar. And then after that, I just like in the same time when I trained Muay Thai, I trained basketball too. Like, especially I'm from Brazil.
Yeah. So
like my mom always tried me like get away from the streets.
Yeah.
So I just like fight all the time. I just play sports all the time. So I play basketball and Muay Thai. But after that, I had that issue, and then I stopped playing sports. And then I boom started jiu-jitsu, and then now I'm here.
So I mean, was it kind of a rougher neighborhood where you came from?
Yeah, like it's in the like like ghetto.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
What was the city?
It's in Salvador.
Yeah.
My neighborhood is called the Jardim Cajazeiras. Is like the suburbs of Salvador. And it was a rude neighborhood. You know what I mean? A lot of crime, a lot of things. So my mom's always tried to be like, no, he can't be in the streets.
So she was a good mom.
Yeah, she was man. My mom was perfect.
Shout out to the moms out there.
Yeah. So like, I played sports the whole time. So, but it was okay.
Did you have any brothers, or do you have any brothers or sisters?
I know for my mom's part. I have for my dad's part.
Yeah.
I have like 4. I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers. From my mom, for my dad's part. My mom, I'm just single son.
Was your dad around or into
no, pretty much. I was raised by my mom and my grandparents.
Yeah. Like
my dad was always like apart a little bit, but like my mom wasn't just our three, like mom, dad, grandfather, and grandmother.
Yeah, that's how I was growing up.
Yeah,
my dad moved away when I was young. It was me, my sister, and then eventually my little brother, and then I had a stepfather who stepped in.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. He did a great job, but it was my mom who really kind of pushed me in a direction like you said, something to whatever I did. She was very supportive of, whether it be skateboarding, snowboarding. I was actually in karate when I was young, and that was amazing time from what I can remember. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old, but I know I loved it, and I loved competing in it. And then I was actually there was a guy from around here named Master Bennett, and he, for some reason, when I moved back, because I used to live in Minnesota, then I moved back, and it wasn't long ago when I was like, I had this feeling where it was like, hey, you need to go talk to this guy and just recoup and see what's going on. And eventually he died before I even got to say anything. And this has been kind of a rebirth of that whole, thinking about him and and he taught me simple things too. Just like be confident in yourself. There's no word like can't that would ruin you, and things like that. And he was really a real true figure in my life when I was younger. But she was very supportive. And so once you started, enough about me though. Everybody on here they've heard enough about me. But so once you started, what was it about the sport? I see it's tough for me to call it a sport. I know it's a sport, but it's almost like a skill.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like a skill set.
It's kind of like a lifestyle too. Like
oh yeah,
it is like, man. In the beginning was I started to like take care of a healthy thing that turned as my life. Like in the beginning was just like build my self-esteem and confidence, but just build too fast.
Yeah, you knew it was something more. Right away.
I was like, since the beginning, my first coach, he always told me like since the beginning. I remember like days now. He always told me this, like, man, you have a different talent than the most. You have a different mind than most kids. So stick around with this. Believe it. Just believe. Just always believe in like that you can.
Yeah.
Just believe in that. And then like I have the support at home too. So my mom with my mom at home was a phase. She supported in the beginning because she saw improvement. Yeah. And then after she tried to stop because it get too addicted to the thing.
It got too serious.
Yeah. And then she was like, no, you have to, go to college and you have to.
There's more to life than jiu-jitsu.
Yes. And I was like, no, mom. My college is gonna be jiu-jitsu. Yeah. And she was like, oh, so I was like, but days now she believes me like completely. Like she saw,
she has to.
She saw like the improvements. Like days now I can make a live with jiu-jitsu. I have sponsors. I have payments. I have the gym now. Yeah. So it's good. But in the question, like the beginning was for a health thing. That days now is just man, I can't live without. It's like it's like water. You can't live without water, man. Like, you have to drink. You have to drink some jiu-jitsu for me. It can't be like if I be 2 days without jiu-jitsu, go crazy. Yeah. It's like, man, I have to roll. I have to this. I have to drill a little bit. Just drill. But it's pretty much this.
Yeah, I catch myself now. I'm sure it's nothing like you, but I catch myself now randomly watching videos of like different. Like I heard somebody talking about a loop choke. Yeah. And I didn't get to see it because I was rolling at the time. I went home. I looked up how to do a loop choke, and I've tried it a couple times. I haven't done it yet, but it's in my little it's in my trick bag. And I think that's another thing about jiu-jitsu too is it's the more you know, right? And you have, and I've noticed that too, especially some of the newer moves that I've had. I would get into these positions and I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be sitting here. I'm like, all right, I pass his guard and I'm sitting and I have my weight on top of him, but I don't know where to go now. Exactly. Yeah. And now you pull out one of those skills that you have, and it just becomes more fluid on what you're doing.
So jiu-jitsu is like, man, it's a infinite of positions, right? So I was like, when I tell like when the guys have a conversation with the guys, and I always tell them like, man, you have to figure out a game, right? Yeah. So it's like if I figure out my game, like a pull guard, like a pull guard. I sit down and I do guard.
Is that preferred for you?
Yeah, I'm just giving an example. Yeah, okay. I like to do guard. So I sit down, boom, pull guard. My goal is or sweep the guy or submit him. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna learn 2 submissions, 2 sweeps that I'm gonna try all the time. Yeah. I swept the guy, supposedly. I swept the guy. Boom, I get on top. I got to learn 2 passes. Yeah. Right? So I'm going to like hit the 2 passes like once and over and over. I passed the guy's guard. I got his side control. I have to learn 2 submissions.
Yeah.
So it's like
that's a great way to look at it, though.
It's a game. You know what I mean? You gotta figure out that process, boom, until the X point. So once like you pass, like you said in the mount, I get in the mount. You have to learn 2 positions from the mount.
Yep.
So
and get him down pat.
Exactly. You're not gonna be lost right there. Same thing with the back. I got the back. Suppose I get the mount, the guy hack, boom, give him the back. What am I gonna do here? I'm gonna stay there? No, I have to learn 2 submissions from the back too. So it's a skills thing.
Yeah.
It's the game. So
and then stages. You have stages from there.
Exactly. And I always like tell the guys, learn 2 things. Pay attention to things. Like when you came to the class, you work like a bunch of positions. You're not gonna save that all positions.
I've learned that very quickly.
It's just too much positions. But like we can't just work the same position over and over the whole week. So you have to teach different things. So you're gonna pick like during the week 2 positions that you felt like, man, I can put this in my game. I feel good to do this.
Yeah.
So that's your position. So you save it. Some positions you learn, but you don't feel like, man, I have to learn, but that's not the position that I want to my game.
Yeah.
But in the future, you're gonna look back to that position like, oh, now this position
that'll work for this situation.
It works for this situation.
Yeah.
So that's like jiu-jitsu is like when you learn, and now you have to learn.
Yeah. And I think that's the best way, because I was telling you how I'm really thinking about competing. I pretty much made up my mind. I'm going to sign up and I'm going to compete May 19th for the Toledo BJJ Open. And what you just said really meant something to me, because it's like you don't want to be stuck in those stages not knowing what to do, because while you're thinking of what to do, the guy who you're on top of or you have the back, he's trying to get out, and he while you're thinking about what you're going to do, he's going to try and get you. And thinking about it now, I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those and try and learn 2 and get those down solid. I think I have 2 takedowns that I've been doing really well, and then now to the next stage, if I'm in mount, then learn 2 from there and 2 submissions. I've been doing a lot of what is it, the Kimura?
The Kimura, yeah. Kimura
I've been getting that down pat. I've been getting down the bow and arrow choke down pat. But I think that's a great way to look at it, especially guys coming up who are on the fence about competing. And and what's overwhelming with the sport is like you said, it's infinite. There's so much knowledge to know. And I was telling a couple friends of mine to come out to the opening of the Perrysburg one, because you guys are doing the 2 weeks. Well, I guess I can feel part of the whole thing. We're doing 2 weeks, and I told them to come out, and I told them, I was like, it's not going to be we're going to start you from A to Z. You're going to come in at G. And that's just how it's going to be. You're just going to have to hit the ground running and not necessarily start absorbing the information, but just getting used to what we're doing and what the sport is about. And because I have a couple friends who are really interested in it, and they're just like, I'm just intimidated. I don't know what to do. Everybody's going to just do this and do this and this. Man, I've been competing in paintball for 12, 13 years. I was nervous when I first got here. But the thing is what's nice about jiu-jitsu is it gives you this overwhelming sense of fear at one time, because you know that the guy across from you, like I rolled with Max the other day, and I was like, everything is just so, and he is not even sweating a bead of sweat off his face, and everything is just so smooth while I'm just trying to get away from him. He's just like folding me into a pretzel. But it's this sense of fear, but this sense of accomplishment when you actually do something for the first time. When I submitted somebody for the first time on something that I worked hard for, it was like a weight lifted off of my shoulders. It's crazy, but it's addicting at the same time, because you're like, man, if I can do that, I'm gonna learn something else and try and get that guy into this. I know. And then during that, you get submitted like 3 or 4 times, and you come back. But that's the addicting part about jiu-jitsu is it's a circle. It's just keeps going around, and whether or not you stay or you go, it's gonna continue going, and it's all up to you on whether or not you want to go for the ride. And it's been super fun, this whole experience. I'm really actually glad that I chose this gym. When I first started, Joe Rogan?
Yeah, Joe Rogan.
So I listen to his podcast, and he's the one, he pushes, jiu-jitsu all the time.
All the time.
And so I first started. The first thing I started doing that he was, telling us to go do, or not telling us to go do, but suggested, was the float tank. You know, the isolation tanks.
Yeah.
You go there and float. So I started doing that, and I was getting inside my own head, and it's an amazing thing. It really, really is. If you've never done it before.
Yeah.
But
this.
oh, there you go. Yeah, it's awesome. But then he started talking about jiu-jitsu, and I started looking it up, and man, I was like, well, I'm coming to the end of my paintball career, and I don't know if am I too old for jiu-jitsu, because at the time I didn't know there's guys out there who are 50 plus, doing jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
and then I think it was yourself or Dante saying that the guy who won last year, I don't know what weight class or what, but he was like 37 or something like that. So after I started kind of learning things like that, I'm like, I could really go for this. I really go for the challenge, and I think that's what it is too. Is it's a different challenge that I've never done before. It just sucked me right in. But another one of my rants. So when did it start getting? I know you got addicted right away to jiu-jitsu, but when did it really start becoming something serious, where you were like, all right, this is something that I'm going to do, and you started taking it serious enough where you were thinking about competing? When was that?
So I started competing real early. Like I was like 3 months. I started like in my first 3 months of training. I tried to compete already, and then I won the most of all the tournaments that I competed as a white belt.
Really?
And then I got promoted as a blue belt. And then I went to my first tournament, and boom, I got beat. And the guy submitted him in the arm. I remember him.
Those memories
you
don't go away.
can't forget. And I chased that guy for a long. I was like, "Where's this guy, man? He just disappeared." I want to hit again.
He beat you and then disappeared.
Yeah, disappeared, man. But was like, so when I really take that serious, so in the ends of like my blue belt, I think in the first year as a blue belt, I had a tournament in another state for my state, and it's like the tournament, like I live in Ohio, the tournament was like California, like so far away from home. And then I told my mom, I think I'm gonna compete that tournament, but I wanna see like how my skills going, because like I was winning a lot around my state.
Right.
Like I take like state tournaments. I won all the state tournaments and that. And then I said, Mom, I try that. I would try the to see if I'm if I'm
you really want to test yourself.
if I'm doing well against like the toughest guys around Brazil.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, all right, let's try it. Boom. So she helped me out. She bought the ticket, all that.
Was this your first time to the States?
Yeah, out of the state.
Yeah.
Like, and then she paid my registration, and then I went there. It was a trial to go to a tournament in Abu Dhabi. So like it's the World Pro. It's like the guys pay a big amount of money for all the athletes.
Yeah.
And then I went there, and then I was like 17, I think. 17, around 17, I guess. And then boom, I got second. And it was like,
you were a blue belt at the time.
and I was a blue belt, and I was like, oh man, I got second here. Like, that's cool. I have like 4 fights, and then I lost in the finals in my 5th fight. And then I was like, man, I have I really have the talent for this. But I like in my state, it was like the guys didn't take professional like jiu-jitsu. My state is really big in MMA. Like a lot of like champions. Like we have UFC champions from my state. We have like a bunch of Bellator.
Yeah.
A lot of guys like world champions in boxing. And then, but the guys don't take jiu-jitsu serious. So once I got back to there, like I was a big fan of like as a legend in jiu-jitsu, in the Brazilian jiu-jitsu. His name is Rodolfo Vieira. He's like a legend in our sport, and I was a big fan of him. I was like watching him every day. I have pictures of him on wall. And then when I came home, I told my mom. I said, Mom, I'm gonna compete in another state in Rio de Janeiro, and I'm thinking about stay there for the month. That was my vacation from school.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, I really think about stay there for a month. Blah, blah, blah. My mom was like, why are you going to stay there? Like,
I was going to say, what did she think about that?
We don't have money for that. We don't have money to keep you there. I said, Mom, I'll figure it out.
That's always the answer. I'll figure it out.
I figure it out. Don't worry. But she, no. Say, Mom, I will figure it out. Don't worry. So I put my backpack. Boom, Rio de Janeiro. So when I get there, Rio de Janeiro is like the highest. Like that wasn't jiu-jitsu came from the state. So the kids there, it's just killers. Like it's. When you go like blue belt, you're gonna fight the toughest kids, and it's like you came from California from wrestling and came to Ohio to wrestle here. Yeah, you're gonna feel like, oh my god, that's not even close. You know what I mean?
It's a different level.
It's a different level. You go like you from I don't know Texas, Arizona, I don't know, and came to Iowa to wrestle the guys there. You're gonna get your ass. Yeah,
different breed.
Yeah, it's a different breed of wrestling. So it was the same thing about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu in Brazil. Yeah. I was on a state that have zero tradition of jiu-jitsu and boom, went to the like most prestigious state in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. So I got there, boom, get my ass beat like in the quarterfinals. The guy just like beat me, and I was like, man, I was so sad, and I was like, man, I want to stay here now. I want to train where these guys train. Yeah. Boom, went to this gym where the guy like I was a fan of the guy, Rodolfo Vieira. That's the GF team, the team that's today. Yeah. That's my gym now. Nice. So I went there, was a blue belt, asked the guy for the opportunity, the coach. His name is Julio Cesar. So I asked him, I said, man, I'm a kid, I'm from Salvador. You know, I'm humble. I came from a humble family. Like, we don't have a lot of money. If you give me the opportunity to live here, I can, you know, clean the gym every day. I can sleep in the mat. I can do whatever for the gym, but please let me train here. Yeah. And he was like, all right, kid. Let's see what you got. Yeah. Let me see your training. So boom, he put me to train with like he kind of like joked with me. One of the biggest black belt in the academy, he usually trained with a blue belt on his waist. So he was like, go with that blue belt right there. His name is Vinicius Marinho, like amazing guy, like awesome guy, really technical, like really good athlete. Yeah. And then this guy was training a blue belt on his waist. And I'll go there training. So, man, the guy just beat me up. Like, he smashed me bad. Like, submit me like 5 times. And I was like, yeah. So I just sat down. I just, like, put my hand in my head. And I was like, oh, my God, man, I think I'm going home. Yeah, do I really want to do this? I don't want. Yeah. That's so hard, man. This guy's so good. I don't know if I can make it. Yeah. So, but have a picture of this guy on the wall. So I was like this, and I look forward, and I look to the guy. I look forward.
And you look at his belt.
And I look to his belt. And then I come to the coach, and I was like, oh, that guy, the same as that? And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah. So now I feel good. Now I feel better. So he put me to roll with some blue belts, and I did well. So he was like, man, you can't stay in the gym. Like, you know, do what you said to do. You're gonna clean the gym, all that. So if you do your job, you can't stay here. So I was like, yeah, for sure. So that month, supposed to be a month, went to 3 years. So my mom just like, man, I have to come back home, blah blah. Yeah. So like, no, Mom, I want to live this. I want like do this for life. So man.
So did you while you were there, were you training for free while you were cleaning?
Yeah. So when like they have a program, like they take like athletes from like poor place, and then they give you the opportunity to train there, and then we do this type of stuff. Like it's like that's the payment that we do, right? Fees. We just clean the gym, take care of the gym, and like, but it's a hard job. It's a huge academy that have like 6-7 training sessions a day, so the gym have to be clean all the time. So you have to clean the gym like 3 times a day. So it is a hard job. Like, and you have to train. So you train, clean, and then you boom, rest, clean.
Just constant jiu-jitsu.
Constant jiu-jitsu. Like I really breathed jiu-jitsu for 3 years. That was the best experience of my life. It was a hard time, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was really difficult with food and all that.
I was gonna say, how were you making money at the time?
Like, when you're a collar belt, it's really hard to make money. So in the beginning, my mom helped me like. So 100 reais in dollar is like $35. So she helped me with $35 a week.
So wait, $100 is 35?
No. 100 reais, 100 like Brazilian money
Yeah.
is $35.
Oh.
So yeah. So she gave me like $35 a week, but that's what she, that's all the best she could.
Well, then you're gonna survive
And
off
yeah,
that.
exactly. And then man, I just like tried to do my best with that money.
Yeah.
And then I just eat like cheap things and boom boom. And so I make it, and then I compete somewhere for like couple hundred reais. Compete there, boom boom, and then I would just make the leave. Like so I have a lot of help from my friends too, like Max. He's here today. He helped me a lot. Like he has a sponsor for a restaurant, so the restaurant gave him like two plates of food, one for the lunch and one for the dinner.
Yeah.
So in the dinner, he's at home because he lived there. So he gave him his plate of dinner to me.
Yeah.
So I kind of like I split like you used to. I split like, man, I gotta split this. I eat a little bit of lunch, I eat a little bit of dinner.
You ration it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I make that for a long time, and then after. So when I got my purple belt, I started being a little like my jiu-jitsu really got better. After that year, like 1 year training at Rio, my jiu-jitsu got a little like way better than it was as a blue belt. And then my friend Abraham Marte just introduced me to his sponsor, and then just told my all history to the guy, and like, man, please help this kid. So the guy just helped me out a lot. Like he was like, Gutenburg, man, I'm gonna help you, and every tournament that you compete, I'm gonna pay you to compete.
Just to compete.
Yeah, any tournament that you compete, I'm gonna help you out. If you win, I give you this amount of dollars.
Yeah.
So I was like, really, man? Yeah.
That's a big opportunity. Yeah.
Man, so boom, I started fighting a lot, and
then
I started making money. Then I started like making a little money. I started eating better.
Were you doing well in the tournaments?
And then I was doing well. Boom, 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 and then I came the first time to United States, and then I won the World No Gi, and boom, I won the World Pan Am's No Gi too. Went to the Worlds with Gi, I got third. So I just like start improving, like start like winning words, and boom, sponsors start like coming more, people to help, start
Getting
like
noticed.
Yeah. So I just make through. So when I get my brown belt, I moved to Toledo. So I have the offer from Kelly's to move to Toledo, and then I moved to Toledo.
So did he offer you to pretty much run the gym? I mean, is that your position here?
Yeah, I'm one of the partners in the gym. It's like me, him, and Dante. So like partners. So it's pretty much like I pretty much like teach and run the gym.
Yeah.
So I do like, it's like we talk about everything, and it's like a group of thing.
Yeah.
We just give our advice, man. How do you think about this? No, I agree. Let's do it. So it's not really like my position here is just one of the partners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So was Dante already a part of? I mean, was this something that you came into, or was Dante with Kelly already, or
so
how did that come about?
So the gym, this gym came from just a friendship thing. Like I went to Miami to a camp train, and then I met Dante. So in Miami, yeah. This same friend Abraham Marte, like he's a great guy, man. I love that guy. He just like introduced us. He invited me, like he brought me to the camp and brought Dante too. So we had this mutual friend, Abraham Marte from Dominican Republic, but we was not friends. We just have the mutual friend that was Abraham. So he brought me and Dante to Miami to a training camp. And then when I went there, like I didn't even speak one word in English. I just speak, I think, just hi or excuse me, sorry, just this really, really basic. I couldn't have a conversation.
Right.
And then he introduced me to Dante. But I was like, who met me, I was like to talk. Even if I don't know the language, I'm gonna find a way to talk. So I always try to talk to Dante, and like, he was like, man, that's cool, man. This guy's cool, blah blah. So he invited me like to came here to train.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, "Hey, dude, what do you think about you go to Ohio to just train with me for just have fun there, like for 2 weeks?"
So were you living in Brazil?
I was living in Brazil in the time.
And what year is this?
So was 2016, 2015.
So 15. You were living in Brazil.
I was living in Brazil.
Went to Miami, met Dante, and he invited you over to Ohio.
So 2015. And then he was like, "Man, just go there 2 weeks. We just eat a lot." Was like afterwards.
Yeah.
So I was like, I had like eating a lot thing, like a lot of bad foods, no good foods. That's the truth. So I was like, no diet, just drink a lot of soda and a lot of milkshake, whatever. So he was like, "Man, just go there, eat a lot, train a little bit, just have fun. What do you think about that?" I said, "Yeah, man, let's do it." So when I came here, I met Kelly. And man, Kelly just changed my life.
Yeah.
He man, I can't even express the words like what that guy did for me and still doing. Like, it's just...
Is he the reason you stayed in Ohio?
So, and I got here, met Kelly, and then we have a bunch of conversation because I stayed in his house, me and Dante.
Mm-hmm.
And then he invited me like, "Man, why you don't stay for the month?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right, my visa's still good if I stay for the month. Let's do it." Boom. Stay for the month. Just like it. Oh, you stay 3 months now, man. Your visa's still good.
Yeah.
All right, I stayed for 3 months. So after 3 months, he was like, "Man, what do you think about you live here?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know. I still like having my dreams about my career. I don't know if that's a good move to do." So he was like, "Man, everything takes a price.
Right.
So maybe if you take the shot now, in the future, you can have, a good thing for you, a good life." And I was like, so I think about that, and I was like, yeah, that's true. So
were you training out of the gym in Brazil still that you...
Yeah. I was there already. I was training there still. So when I came here, it was just me and Dante. So I was like,
where were you training at with Dante here?
What was it? Another gym in Central Avenue. It's called the Bad Dog Sport Performance.
Okay, I've seen that.
That's the same owner. Like, Kelly's the owner here. Kelly's the owner there.
Okay.
He was the same owner, but we trained there before. And then he was like, "Man, what do you think about that?" And I brought some guys. I bring here some guys to train with you, blah, blah. And, you just try to open a jiu-jitsu program here. Yeah. Like, Toledo don't have a lot of jiu-jitsu schools.
So you weren't teaching at the time, but he was offering that to you.
Yes. So, he was like, "Man, jiu-jitsu in Toledo is not that big.
Yeah.
And I bet if you came here, you're going to be a big name pretty soon. Man, you can change the face of the city with jiu-jitsu." And I was like, yeah, that
sounds good.
That sounds good. That's something that, I would like to do.
Yeah.
So for me, it was kind of hard in the beginning because I went I get out of the best train in the world. The toughest guys in the world was training there.
Oh, yeah.
To just came here and just have Dante to train. What is a tough train? The kid's really tough, one of the best in the world.
He's nasty, yeah.
But I was getting out of 30 guys.
Well, the atmosphere over there, the atmosphere of the guys over there had to
there's
be...
war every day.
Yeah.
So you just get out of there came to Toledo to train with just one guy. So that was a challenge to me. I was like, "Oh man, I don't know if I can make this." So in the beginning it was hard, and then I got used to, and I was like, "Man, whatever. I'm gonna do this challenger, and pretty soon I'm gonna be better." So we start so Kelly just opened the classes in Bad Dog. "Man, let's open class and let's try build this program, the jiu-jitsu program.
Yeah. And
you and Dan's gonna be the coach." And I was like, "All right, so let's do it."
Did you feel pretty confident in what you knew already in jiu-jitsu that you could start teaching?
100%.
Was teaching natural for you?
Yeah. Teaching always was natural for me. Since blue belt, I was really man, I watch jiu-jitsu. You can't believe how addicted I was. I watch jiu-jitsu, I breathe jiu-jitsu every day. If I was not training, I was watching.
Yeah, you're thinking about it.
I was thinking about it. Seriously, my mom, in a point of my life, my mom was afraid because every day I slept I go to the bed 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, watching my computer jiu-jitsu. And my mom just was like, oh my God, you have to sleep. Because like I go to the bed like 4, but I have to be up at 7 to go to school.
Right.
So I went, boom, go to school, come back, boom, go to the gym. And there I take a nap in the gym and like, boom, train. And then I come back, same thing. So I was like, I was learning something. Mm-hmm. So I always like feel confidence to teach because I knew a lot of positions. Like I just have a lot of positions in my head.
And you were able to point out mistakes and help other people. And
So
that's a confidence booster too. As somebody who's teached clinics and everything myself in paintball, it's such a confidence booster when you have somebody who is so willing to learn. And then you start actually, taking what you've learned over the years and helping them out. It kind of boosts your confidence too as you go.
Yeah. So I just like felt the confidence to teach. I feel the confidence to teach. So when I got here, I told Kelly, man, why you don't open another school like just for jiu-jitsu? So
was that not just jiu-jitsu?
It was boxing, like MMA, a bunch of stuff. So it was
a true mixed martial arts place.
Yeah. So I was like, man, why you don't open just a school for jiu-jitsu? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's take the shot. So we opened this gym. After a year at Bad Dog, we just came here and boom, opened this academy here, Jeff in Toledo. So now it's.
So how long has this place been here? When did this open?
Jeff in Toledo is like around like 8 months, I guess.
So very, very new.
Yeah, it's very, very new in the area. And they are doing well, man. The classes starting being big. Yeah. And all the students is having fun, is learning. So the work is
absolutely
good.
Man. It's and because there's a few different places now. At least when I first started looking, because I started at the beginning of the year looking for an academy to train at, and there's I think like 4 or 5 places around Toledo. And me just being me, I was doing my research on all of them because obviously I want to train at the best one I can train at, not because. Actually, because I'm selfish. Because I think it's just like anything else. I think you get what you pay for.
Exactly.
So I was looking at a few different places, kind of narrowed it down a little bit. Started doing research on all the coaches at each place. Saw the credentials that you guys had here, and I was like, I mean, they're young, they know what they're doing, and they have the hardware to back that.
Yeah.
And then I started looking at the price and everything, which everybody does. I'm like. You know what? I mean, that has to be, when you look at something and price is kind of out the window, it's so, I don't want to say depending on the gym, but it's like I'm putting a lot into the gym because I feel that with my money, I'm paying for you guys' confidence in what you know. You know what I mean? And to me, that doesn't matter now because, money is just an idea. I want the knowledge. I mean, that's what I want. I want the confidence to be able to compete and just my competitive nature. But I don't want to rush things at the same time because I feel like some people, think in their head that they start learning something so quickly and like, oh, I already know enough, and they try and go do something. They get squashed up.
Like that.
Like I'm going into. I'll definitely be going into this tournament with knowledge and confidence in what I know.
Nice.
But I'm not going to go in. Thinking I'm going to take the whole thing. And I think if you go in any other way, I think, especially, I have no stripes. I'm a straight white belt, everything. But you guys have given me so much confidence in the little that I know already.
Good.
The little that I've retained because you guys have taught so much already. And the way you teach, it's like, I can't say about other gyms because I haven't been in other gyms, but you guys make it personal, right? You don't just let us roll, or you don't just have us do drills and just you step off to the side. You're watching everybody. I'm hearing as I'm rolling. Sometimes I don't know with Max whether he's talking to me or not, but now I've kind of got his tone down where I know when he's talking to me because I'll hear, put the hooks in. Put the hooks in. I'm like, that's a terrible accent. But I was like, I know he's talking to me because of what I'm doing, and I throw my hooks in. But I've loved it so far. I think this is a great experience. I think the gym has done amazing things with not only me, but the guys. It's such a tribe feeling. Everybody feels so confident in what you guys are teaching. And now you're opening up a gym in Perrysburg, which my wife and I, we drove past it yesterday. So it's like a whole complex.
Yeah, it's a complex. It was like a old indoor tennis club.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So it's probably huge.
It's huge, man. It's huge. You have like everything. They have sauna, have like a bunch of showers, and man, it's huge. And have a bunch of like indoors thing, like tennis, like field there.
Yeah.
It's huge. So like Kelly found out this place, and I was like, man, that's a good fit. You know what I mean? That's a big space. The mat's gonna fit good.
Mm-hmm.
And Petersburg was an area that like don't have any jiu-jitsu out there, and have like a So it was like, man, we were pretty close. So let's give the shot. Let's try it. So now we're gonna like open there. Try to like we were hoping like good things. To school.
It seems like if it has all those amenities, then it's gonna be. I mean. Is there nothing in there right now? Is nobody occupies it? Or?
So have a like couple rooms there that people are taking for like another things like massage therapy, some like lawyer thing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have the jiu-jitsu, like we have a big like indoor field, like tennis field.
Yeah.
It's like do you know that indoor thing? Like I don't know how to explain. It's like. Is like a box,
racquetball.
A racquetball.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and you just hit the wall.
Yep.
Bah, bah. So that's the thing. It's a huge one. Boom with this thing. So the guy just like, man, we will rent this. It's right in the door. Like once you get in the
front entryway, the lobby,
the lobby, is the room. So it was pretty good, and then we felt good there. We felt comfortable.
Yeah.
And you see the location was good. Have a big parking lot. So I was like, man, let's do it. Yes, we have the guys to coach. So
yeah. Now, when did you start bringing people over, or were you a big part of bringing the other Brazilians?
The Brazilians, over? Yeah. So last year, as I said, like we just have Dante has me, and I had Dante to train. That's it. And once a week, we went to Columbus to train with our friend Vitor.
I've heard that name before. Somebody on Instagram sent me. They were. A guy knows me on Instagram, and he said, "Hey, where are you from in Ohio? Because I know a gym in Columbus with a guy named Vitor who's
Vitor,
a beast."
Vitor's a killer.
I said, "I'm in Toledo." He goes, "Okay, well, you need to find somewhere that's comparable to that place."
Vitor's a killer, man. He also GF too. Like Vitor was the first guy in Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then for our team, he was the first guy. And then man, he's a big friend of me, and then. So yeah, me and Dante went there once a week to train with them because it's just an awesome train. And then for this year, I have Max already. Like, I just invited Max already. Like, man, what do you think? Like, come here, let's train. We're gonna have fun. We're just gonna focus on training, blah blah blah, train for a big tournament. And then I invite Max and Mauricio to come down here to train.
Yeah. Because
Mauricio was Mauricio is from my hometown. Like he's like 15 minutes from my house.
So you knew these guys.
I knew this guy for a long time. Yeah, I trained with Max at Rio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Mauricio, I know since I was a kid. So I was like, man, why you guys don't come here to train with me? I just help you guys out, and then we find a way to help you guys out.
Yeah.
And then you guys come here to train. You gotta focus 100% in jiu-jitsu, bro. And
yeah.
You just be ready together for the tournaments. And the guy's like, all right, I do it. Boom. So when the guys came, I would just have the idea, like, dude, why you don't do a camp here, a training camp? And he was like, yeah, let's do it, let's get it.
Yeah.
So I posted, like, man, we're gonna run a camp here, blah blah. It's gonna have me, Dante, Max, Mauricio. Like, if you guys just for my team, who's interested to come, just message us, and then we figured out something. And me and Dante was doing good at the tournaments, and like people were seeing the results, and people just ask us like, man, what are you guys doing out there? Like, just you two guys, and you guys doing
just making
good,
each other better,
doing good in the tournaments. What's the secret? And I just be like, dude, we just train here, man.
Yeah.
24/7, like we train all the time. So that's why. So the guys get excited, and then I have a bunch of guys like asking me to come, like, bro, can I go there to train with you?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, bro, anytime. Doors open, man. So I just now we have like 8 guys with us training, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
So then we made the camp, the camp for the pants, and then we're gonna make another camp for the words.
Yeah.
And then like all these guys here is training, so it's awesome.
Yeah, man, that's one of my goals I've definitely made is to to fight with that GFT
logo
with Toledo, Ohio on my back, and it might not be this year. At least at a big tournament like that.
Yeah.
It might happen next year.
You're gonna find Toledo, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've noticed changes, and especially like I'll watch the video, like I watch Flow Grappling.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back and I'll watch you guys train there, and even if I'm here, I'll try and stay as much as I can to the advanced classes.
Good.
I definitely want to start coming to some of them just to get the experience, because those guys, it's such a different level, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I want them to make me pay for my mistakes that I'm making, so I know not to make those in the future. And I think that
you're right.
But I'm definitely gonna put my time in for the white belt. You know what I mean? And do that. But I'm so interested in it. And I mean, so when it was you and Dante, what were you doing for money here? Because you weren't training at the time, or you were just training at the time.
So like when I got here, so I have an athlete visa, right?
Yeah.
So the gym, like Kelly paid me, like in the beginning he paid me to kind of like train here,
right,
to me and Dante. So he kind of like, he's our sponsor. So Kelly just take care of us like a lot, and I also have my sponsors.
Okay.
So the sponsor just like pay me salary and all that.
So that's the one thing why Kelly changed your life.
So when I moved to here, I competed way more than before. And then I started like make more money, and then Kelly step up too, and then just to help us like as much as he can. Like the guy just give like all that he has to us, like really try to help the best way that he can. So that was our live here.
So if for anybody listening who is getting into jiu-jitsu, I mean, what are some words of advice that you would give, like even myself, like as white belts coming up or somebody wanting to get into it, like what's some kind of.
So man, the thing is, like I always said to beginners, I always get this message actually, like in the Instagram and all that.
So you probably get white belt questions all the time.
A lot of times they ask me a lot of questions, bro. And then the best side advice, man, that I always said is like, man, take your time. You know what I mean? Don't rush to learn. Don't rush to. Just get excited. Just like get excited to learn. Don't rush like, oh man, like I have to do this. I have to do this with this. I have to do good with this blue belt. But no, take your time. I know I was a white belt one time. You know what I mean? And I know all the thoughts that everybody has, especially guys with a competitive mind. So man, take your time. Every time that you come to the gym, came with an open mind to learn. I always listen to your coach. Whatever he said, even if he said, man, give the arm to the guy, listen to him. Give the arm to the guy. He know like what. If you trust to pay the fee to join his gym, you must trust him. Do you know what I mean? So trust to your coach. Come with an open mind. Once you get in the gym, leave your ego at the door. Because when you came to the gym with a big ego, you can hurt. That's a jiu-jitsu is a dangerous sport. If a guy get your arm and your ego's too big, you can hurt. The guy's gonna get your arm bar. If you don't tap, you're gonna get hurt. So leave your ego at the door, and then just have fun in the gym. That's the most important thing. The thing is, like the most of the guys, the successful guys in jiu-jitsu, you can ask anybody. Like you can ask all of them why they're successful in jiu-jitsu and they learn so much is because they always have fun learning. So jiu-jitsu have to be fun. You know what I mean? In the same time that challenge you, have to be fun. You when you learn a new position, that have to be like that have to blow your mind. Like, oh man, that's so cool. So that's the feeling that you have. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah.
So man, just come to the gym, open mind, leave your ego at the door, be humble all the time. That's important too. Listen to your coach.
Stay hungry.
Stay hungry for sure, and stay hungry, especially for the competitors. Stay hungry, man. Like don't understand me wrong about when I said about when you come to the gym, leave your ego. For sure, you have like special competitors. You have to have the heart of the competitive thing. Like man, stay hungry. But if the guys submit you, just don't take that personal. Find a way to don't get cut again, or in the next row get him the armbar. No, you get the.
Yeah.
So it's that competitive thing, but that have to be fun. Can't be like inside of the gym. Can't be competitive. Like so annoying. Like you get there in the tournament. Gym have to be fun. You have to be fun learning. Even if the guys tap you out. Like today, Mauricio tapped me out, and I was like, man, kid, why?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But was kind of like, and I compete my whole life, but that's still my thing. Like I had fun. He submitted me because he showed my mistake.
Yeah.
Like man, why I put my hand there.
He saw that window.
Exactly. So I still haven't, this feeling. If I was if I don't leave my ego at the door, I got past and I was like, man, you submit me. Oh, now I'll go crazy. Boom, I hurt.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's the point that I said, leave your ego at the door, open mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I want to roll with that kid.
yeah,
he's so nasty.
He's a killer. Maurice is a killer for sure.
Well, dude, I won't take any more of your time. I really appreciate you sitting me down, sitting down and talk with me. I know this is mainly a paintball podcast for everybody listening or watching, but I wanted to do this because not only because I'm getting into jiu-jitsu and but because you are somebody that's at the highest level. I mean, you're at all the highest tournaments, you're competing at the highest level, you're placing, and you're somebody who is easy to talk to, and your teaching is amazing, and you're just an all-around awesome guy, and I'm super glad that I got to sit down and listen to your story. And I appreciate it, man.
It was my pleasure to talk to you, man.
Yeah, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, see you, bud. Thank you so much, Gutenberg, for sitting down and chatting with me. I had a great time. It was great hearing your story, and it's just super cool to have that kind of knowledge and that kind of experience 10 minutes away from me, and to be able to learn from somebody like that is definitely an opportunity that I'm trying to take advantage of, and that I'm very fortunate, along with a lot of the other people who train at this gym. They're very fortunate to be able to learn and gain some knowledge from Gutenberg. So thank you, Gudo, and thank you to our sponsors, CK Fight Life, where they have all kinds of paintball products, jerseys, pants, packs, arm pads, all kinds of stuff. But also they have jiu-jitsu gear, gis, rash guards, along with shorts, hats, t-shirts, and laser engraving. And if you guys want any more of your questions answered, you can go ahead and either shoot them an email over at ckfightlife.com, or you can give them a call, 951-219-5045, and ask for Tony. Thank you to CK Fight Life. Also to Charm City Paintball, best headgear in the game. Check him out. He is on Facebook and Instagram under Charm City, but I wear all of his gear as far as headbands go. I am rocking a headband on my pack right now as a pack band. I wear it proud. That thing took a long time to make, and I'm very proud of the way it turned out. I think he does an amazing job. Shout out to Mike over at Charm City. And last but not least, to Planet Eclipse, the #1 paintball marker manufacturer of just hands down quality and company wise. I mean, it's a great company. The people behind it are all about the sport and about the teams that shoot their markers. They are giant advocates of this game, and I'm proud to say that I am affiliated with them for sure. Thank you everybody for sticking around and listening to this podcast. Greatly appreciate it. If you want to get a hold of me, or if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Instagram, Carl_Markowski, or on Facebook, Carl Microwave Markowski. And I love the input, whether it be positive, negative, in between. Doesn't bother me. Regardless, we're talking about something, right? But my message to you guys out there, if you made it this far, is please, please, please do not text and drive. This is what is great about a podcast, is that you can listen to it and you can keep your eyes on the road. We need to focus on this because there are so many distractions out there that being on the road has become a complete hazard, more than it's ever been. and we are driving around in these, multi-ton killing machines, and we need to be paying attention. So that's why the podcast platform is an amazing thing, because it's only occupying, a few of your senses, not all of them. If you're looking at your phone, you're not paying attention to the road, and when you least expect it is when something will happen. So please do me a favor, do everyone a favor, and keep your eyes on the road and your ears on the podcast. And we will see you again here soon on the Playing On Podcast. Love you, everybody. Peace.